The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime. Poor guy. The priest was administering the last rites. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. Father?
Yes, my son.
Do you know the code to get into the office?
No, but you could always pray and ask for divine guidance.
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution. What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting.
Which one?
La Maledictio, of course.
The painting that was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
What do you know about the man who painted La Maledictio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire, the fire of eternal damnation.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
Father?
Yes, my son.
Is there anything else you can tell me about La Maledictio?
I've said everything I care to on the subject.
Do you know anything else about El Serp?
I've already told you everything I can.
There was no mistaking this body. It was Hector Lane, art critic extraordinaire. He and I had met before. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. Now wasn't the best time to call Rickenbacker. It wasn't the best time to call, Nico. It was a blob of chewed gum. That bust was pretty impressive. I wondered who'd been the model. That bust was pretty impressive. I wondered who'd been the model. The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't want to knock it off. Just 90,000 for this one. The label said it was painted in 1932. The gallery wanted 80 grand for it. The stolen painting was called La Malediccio, painted by someone called L. Serp in 1937, and worth just 40 grand. The stolen painting was worth less than the others. So why did the thief target it? The alarm still worked on that painting. I wondered why the stolen painting's alarm hadn't sounded. Challenging and experimental, like the 85K price tag. The door was marked private. I still needed to figure out the code to that keypad. All I needed was a mere 65,000, and this little gem could be mine. The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. I decided against stuffing cold pizza into an unconscious man's mouth. I needed him live. I still needed to figure out the code to that keypad. Poor guy. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. His eyes were closed, the least I could do for him. The label read, "Awaken the beast within." Well, no harm in trying.
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow's gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. How about some more of this?
I don't think so. As a sal volatile, it was acceptable. As a cologne, it would be barbaric.
Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Maledictio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. What can you tell me about the stolen painting?
La Maledictio? A challenging piece. If you like a wide cast of obscure saints and fringe Christian symbolism, of course. Not especially valuable, though. The thief won't get much for it on the black market.
Who painted the stolen painting?
Therein lies a mystery. We only know his pseudonym, El Serp. He was a Catalan, a modernist. His works are symbolic, religious.
So you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Well, not yet.
Not ever. And now this inane discussion is over.
Lane was right. I had nothing to use as leverage to extract the door code. I needed to keep searching the crime scene. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The door was marked private. The poster looked old. I didn't want to touch it. Spanish modernists certainly didn't come cheap. Poor guy. He definitely looked better. Poor guy. Poor guy. The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. It was the door to the gallery. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. Another alarm working as it should. 70 grand? Ah, cheap at half the price. This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. Someone had cut a wire and sabotaged the alarm. The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. It was a vibration. The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed. Don't suppose you've changed your mind about giving me that door code?
Certainly not. Give me one good reason why I should.
I might just do that, Mr. Lane. Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting. A wire was cut.
What? Who could have got into the alarm system?
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're not suggesting that I...
Well, I'm afraid that's the way the cops are going to see it.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. Changed your mind about giving me that door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Okay, Lane, I will. I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
Well, you got to admit, the cut wire doesn't look good for you.
As I said, this is a preposterous allegation. Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
Father Simeon looked troubled, but who wouldn't after witnessing a murder? No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone. I'd already tried the alarm on that one. Better not set it off again. The labels. Another working alarm. So the thief took the only painting whose alarm had been sabotaged. But why that painting? Why that particular one? There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. A cryptic note and no personal effects or anything. I definitely needed to check out that office. The nail clippers were monogrammed with the letters H.L. Hector Lane. They must have fallen out of his pocket. Changed your mind about giving me that door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Okay, Lane, I will. Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. Well, you got to admit, the cut wire doesn't look good for you.
As I said, this is a preposterous allegation. Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
I hate to say this, Mr. I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that only one alarm had been sabotaged. All I needed was a mere 65,000, and this little gem could be mine. 55,000. Huh, shame. Just outside my price range. The poster looked old. I didn't want to touch it. For the discerning connoisseur, a soupçon at 80,000. The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. For the discerning connoisseur, a soupçon at 80,000. The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that only one alarm had been sabotaged. Just 90,000 for this one. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. Just 90,000 for this one. I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that only one alarm had been sabotaged. A rare glimpse into the absinthe-addled mind of the artist. A snip at only 80 grand. The label said it was painted in 1932. The gallery wanted 80 grand for it. I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that only one alarm had been sabotaged. The stolen painting was called La Malediccio, painted by someone called L. Serp in 1937, and worth just 40 grand. I didn't think there was any need to test another painting alarm. It was clear that only La Malediccio had been sabotaged. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Sheer fantasy. What possible motivation could I have to sabotage the alarm?
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Sheer fantasy. What possible motivation could I have to sabotage the alarm?
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days. Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
I wondered if there was anything out here I could use to put the heat on Lane. I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur, and all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill, and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Do you recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Thank you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before. Sergeant Mou, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard, an unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Mou?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius, a man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood's better. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Nave.
Tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
This was madness. Sergeant Moo wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moo?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Nave is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful. Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful. It was an office. The room was full of strange trinkets. The pissoir was decorative and unpleasant. I wasn't going to leave without comparing notes with Georges.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappés.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Monsieur,
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are running through your fingers.
well, that may be, but
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we are.
there's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But you know what they say.
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
Life begins on the other side of despair. C'est vrai, no?
Well, I guess so. He was pushing me to the point of despair.
During the riots, we battled the forces of oppression.
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was, except that they made me stay behind the barricades with the other baristas. We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get past Sergent Mou.
Au revoir.
Monsieur,
The road to enlightenment is a long one, madame. Perhaps you will walk that road with me? Au revoir.
salut.
Bonjour, madame.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Sergeant Mou could do with one of those famous coffees. Thanks, Sergeant Mou. An intricate stained glass window, irresistible to any tourist. The menu offered black coffee and a small selection of other drinks. Monsieur,
Madame,
I am not what you think I am.
being is. Being is in itself. Being is what it is.
Sartre, being and nothingness.
Bravo, madame. A lucky guess, perhaps. Au revoir.
Monsieur,
Madame,
the waiter clearly hated his clientele. I had to convince him I was different.
it is only in our decisions that we are important.
Really? Can we talk?
I am sorry, but I have no time to discuss human resources or pension plans or your water cooler gossip.
Well, me neither.
Au revoir.
An intricate step. Monsieur,
Madame, life begins.
right.
Au revoir.
It was an office. It was the pissoir. I had no intention of leaving the scene of the crime. Hi, Georges. I'm outside the gallery.
Thank God you're safe, Nico.
Inspector Moo is out here and he's not letting me in. I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. Looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledictio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer. Maybe you could help me out when you get back in here?
Ronnie, I'm at the exhibition over in Montmartre. You won't believe the scoop I've got.
You're kidding me. That place is a dump. What could possibly have happened to make it exciting?
A painting's been stolen and the gallery owner's been shot.
What? Okay, speak to anybody who saw what happened. Scope out the place. And call me as soon as you get a story. If you're quick, we can make the evening edition. Bye, Nicole.
This could be the scoop I'd been waiting years for. Monsieur,
Madame, life begins on the other side of despair.
right.
Au revoir.
I didn't want to call Georges again. I had nothing new to... Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La Liberté, the great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur,
Madame,
could we have a little chat?
anytime, madame.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death, and yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
As a journalist, that is my duty. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course, you knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic, your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, "Drink, Sergeant Moo, drink!"
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. There was a pizza box on the floor. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
What do you think about that stain?
Is that blood?
I think it's just sauce. I wonder if there's a mop anywhere.
We are facing death and divine retribution. This is no time for tidying up.
Father Simeon wasn't making much sense. What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with it.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play, Miss Collard.
Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I am sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever going to. The stain was a real mess. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever going to. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collard, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel, then. My favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Maledictio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Father Simeon says that the painting is evil.
The priest is a lunatic. La Maledictio is a painting, and a painting cannot be evil.
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Well, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Monsieur Lane?
My dear?
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. Lane had nothing to offer. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. Getting in had not been easy. I needed to stay to pursue the investigation. The gallery was already a mess. I didn't feel like tearing the poster down. Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
so why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So, what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Josh. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office door. The painting was La Malédiction by an artist named Serpent in 1937. I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he sure didn't deserve this. Poor guy. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen that stain on the floor by the door? What do you think it is?
I don't have time to waste discussing domestic hygiene. Please, leave me to my work.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. I had smeared the stain. It might just pass for blood, but something still wasn't right. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. It was a blob of chewing gum, probably carried in on somebody's shoe. Inspector!
Yes?
I really think you should check out that stain.
I told you, I am not interested. Leave the mess for the cleaner.
Do you know anything about La Malediccio?
It is a painting. It was stolen. Point?
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. Inspector Nave, I presumed. According to Moo, he was a CSI star, with a passion for blood spatter analysis. That wouldn't make sense. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. Inspector!
Yes?
Do you want this chewing gum?
Madame, I do not take bribes.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you you insured? What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it.